Hey everybody, I'm going to do a quick video today on how to change the elements on an A.O. Smith hot water heater. I've never done it before. I'm doing it as a layman, just as somebody who considers himself relatively decent in a DIY project. So far what I'm doing is I've drained the tank, I've put a hose on it, and had to kind of push this down to get the hose on there because if not it was kinking it. So I kind of put it underneath, cracked the tank, and I'm letting it drain. Then I went up here, I took the cover off, the metal cover off here, and then I went under here and I took this plastic cover off. Just to be careful, I kind of pulled it up, and then there was a little tab up here that I kind of had to be careful and slide it off. I'm going to take a photograph of where the wires are, because not only am I going to replace the element, but I also bought this. Both elements on this one happens to be what is this thing? I think it's an 80 gallon. Yeah, it's an 80 gallon tank. I'm going to replace both heating elements and the electronics on it. For whatever reason, it's snapping the overheating switch on mine, so that's why I'm going to do it. And like I said, it's about 35 bucks online, so I'm going to try it and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so I just removed the first heating element and installed the new one. It took a little bit of force to get the other one out, even with the tool. I noticed that there was, I don't want to say corrosion, but that other rubber gasket was really seated in there. So I had to push on it a little bit, crank it out, came out fine, put the new one in. You could definitely see the difference between the old one and the new one. Let me grab the old one for a second to show you. I threw it away. The old one, if you can see, is kind of rusted and crappied. So probably needed to get done. And then I'm just starting to work on the electrical part, the thermostat part right now. So all I've done is pulled off the screws and the wires. I actually wrote with a marker, a dry erase marker over here where they were, because I noticed that the thermostat that I bought isn't the exact same one for some reason, even though of course it says it's compatible, but it's set up just a tiny bit different. So I just wanted to make sure, again, I'm not a professional, so having never done it, which wires went with what. So I'm going to pull that out. There's a little tab at the top, it says, and then you're supposed to just slide it up and out, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks. Okay, so I just got the thermostat put in, and actually, originally when I was watching some videos, they said there was a tab at the top you had to pull on. Mine, there was no tab at the top. There was two little tabs at the bottom, and all I did is pull these tabs down, pushed up, and then it popped out. The wiring, like I said, was just these screws were just a little bit different than where I have. Obviously, there's some little tiny numbers that are on yours. I kind of matched up the numbers with mine, so I made sure the one and the one were together, obviously, and the colors were correct and whatnot. Tighten them down and put it together. It actually wasn't that hard. This one happens to be just I would say a 1/4 inch longer than the one I had. So this little black wire down here, I had to kind of pull a little bit to, stretch to kind of get into that screw, but that was about it. Other than that, it seemed to go in pretty simply. Hopefully it works. All I need to do now is put on the white covery thing and put this down and then start on the second element. All right, so I took the cover off the lower element down here, and I've noticed it's a lot less complicated. It looks like there's, just 2 wires going to the thermostat, and then obviously 2 wires going to the heating element. So trying to figure out where the water level is, and once that thing is down low enough, I'm going to do the heating element and then the thermostat, and we'll go from there. I will say that the white stupid covers seem like they've been the most challenging so far, especially on the top one, putting it back. The batting gets in the way and whatnot, and especially since that size was slightly off between the 2 thermostats, the one that I had and the one that I got. So I don't know how important they are. I got it to work, but it's a little tighter than the last one. Anyway, we'll see how this one goes. Just a quick thing. This is what it was like when it's out. Just pull it out. I cleaned up the hole a little bit. I kind of wiped it with a rag. I took a little bit of a wire brush, one of those little baby ones, and kind of went around just to kind of clean up anything that was in there. And then I actually just took a little bit of spray silicone, put it on a rag, and just wiped it around there just to kind of make it look a little nicer. Whether you need to do that or not, I don't know. I just I wanted to just make it look as best as I could, or potentially function as best as it could before I put it back. Like I said, whether that makes a difference or not, whether you're supposed to do it or not, I have no idea. Again, just putting this out there for hopefully if this can help anybody. And let's put one back in. All right, well, I got the second element put in, and I got the second thermostat put in, and I got it all buttoned up, and I got the tank refilling. Once it's refilled, I will turn the power back on at the fuse box, and I probably have to hit the reset button, but I'm not sure about that yet, and see if it works. Anyway, the whole project took me, not including draining, I would say about an hour. That's probably much too long. That's probably because I just was going really systematically and going slow, taking my time, just making sure I did everything right. Again, this is just a basic homeowner DIY, someone who doesn't really know that much, never done this project before. I'm sure somebody else knows a better way to do it, faster way to do it. That's awesome. This is just one way that I did it on an A.O. Smith 80-gallon hot water heater. And hopefully maybe this helps somebody. Again, not trying to be an expert, just trying to help out. Have a good day. One thing I wanted to add is that I have noticed that as soon as I did this project, I turned the water back on. It didn't take very long to fill, maybe 10-15 minutes. Turned on the power, and prior to doing that, I would notice that after I took a shower or something like that, if I came down to my garage, that I could hear it heating, or it sounded like it was, you know, making some sort of a noise, whatever. I just thought that was normal. It is absolutely almost silent. So I did a Google search, and I guess they're supposed to be silent. So I guess the test will be if I have hot water. It seemed to be fine. I noticed that there was a bunch of air in the pipes. So I started on the lower level of my house. I opened them up, and I went upstairs and you know, purged the air from the pipes. Again, I don't know if that's the correct way to do it or the incorrect way to do it, but that's the way I did it. And hopefully this thing works. But again, it is absolutely silent now. I noticed a lot of corrosion on the heating elements. And again, hopefully this tune-up worked. Again, for $35, why not? Have a great day. Bye.